Have you ever wondered what is better for you when it comes to losing body fat? Cardio or strength training? Well, if you ever wondered, you're in luck, because in today's video, we're going to settle the debates right here. That way, at the end of the video, you're going to have so much clarity and knowing how to progress when it comes to you on your fat loss journey. I know a lot of people think that, hey, as long as they're doing cardio, right, they're going to start instantly losing weight. And there's a lot of truth to that, right? Because let's face it, you're burning a lot of calories. But typically, these people also believe that, hey, if you're lifting weights, you're going to get big, you're going to get bulky, you're going to start looking like a bodybuilder. And there's no truth to that at all. In fact, you're only going to look like a bodybuilder if, let's say, you're training to become a bodybuilder or you're taking, let's just say, anabolic steroids. Now, I focus on, with my coaching clients, losing body fat and doing it in a way where it's sustainable for your body type, your busy schedule, and your lifestyle, where you're learning all the skills, you're learning all the knowledge, so that way you can have the success at reaching your goals, but maintain that success long term. So once again, you're going to learn all of that in today's video, in today's episode about cardio and strength training, so that way you truly understand, and once again, what is going to work best for you. So let's break it down like this, okay? Cardio. Does it help you lose weight? Yes. But first off, what is the difference between losing weight and losing body fat? Because this is something that you should definitely understand before we even talk about cardio and talk about strength training, okay? So we'll take me, for example. I weigh about 190 pounds right now, and I'm about 10% body fat. You know, I'm not trying to brag or boast, but I'm going to put it into perspective. Chiseled chest, six-pack abs, no medications, tons of energy, tons of confidence, right? Physically fit, okay? Now, somebody could weigh the same exact weight, and let's just say they're 190 pounds. But let's just say this person has the man boobs, right? Big flabby boobs, okay? And let's just say they also have this big gut. They turn to the side and their stomach is bulging, sticking out farther than their chest. And let's just say this individual, right? They also have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, who knows? Maybe even high A1C levels, and they're like borderline type 2 diabetic, okay? Now, they weigh exactly the same as I do, right? And maybe we're even the same age. So the number on the scale is exactly the same, but what is the difference? You know, besides all the pros and cons, it's the body fat. This person is probably well over 30% body fat. Once again, I'm about 10% body fat. That's what I like to maintain around all year round with ease. And if you guys want more tips and tricks on how you can lose body fat and also have the same success with maintaining those results, I usually have a free fat loss training guide going over exactly the 3-step framework that I and all my clients use. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you just click on the first link down below and you can access that free training guide right there. Now, the difference between, once again, me and this individual, right? One's fit, one's fat, okay? 10% body fat, 30% body fat, or 35% body fat, or 40% body fat, regardless. Number on the scale is 190 each. It's exactly the same. And I know a lot of people, they focus so much on seeing the number on the scale go down, but they're not actually tracking and monitoring their body fat percentage, which matters so much. Because when it comes to your health, which is the most important thing that we're talking about here, once again, you could weigh a certain amount and be unhealthy. You could weigh 190, right, and have high blood pressure, have high cholesterol, have type 2 diabetes. Not good, right? So people could, let's just say, cut out their carbohydrates. They lose the glycogen, right, aka lose some water, right, stored within their body, and instantly see the number on the scale go down, but their body fat percentage doesn't change at all. Somebody could, let's just say, not eat anything, right? Maybe they're just, you know, a starvation diet, rabbit food, whatever the case may be. See the number on the scale go down, but their body fat percentage doesn't change at all. So what did I just say there? Hey, you cut out your carbs, use glycogen, right? You're losing that glycogen, number on the scale goes down, body fat stays the same. You're not eating anything. Hey, so what are you losing there? Your muscle mass, right? Your muscle goes down, right? Number on the scale goes down, body fat percentage stays exactly the same. I focus on fat loss, and you should too. Because honestly, like, that is going to make your life so much easier when it comes to looking better, feeling better, leading by example, and most importantly, having actually good, proper health. So back to cardio, back to strength, okay? Cardio is a tool to help you stay within a calorie deficit, okay? Cardio is great. Yes, there's benefits for your heart, okay? And I think there's a lot more benefits when it comes to also just like getting up, moving around, being more active, right? Like, I know personally for me, when I am moving around, way less back pain, right? My joints feel like they're being lubricated more just because I'm being more active, I'm moving around, so there's a lot of benefits to that. But once again, cardio is just a tool to help you stay within a calorie deficit, okay? It burns way more calories than strength training does. There's facts about that. And when it comes to cardio, like what you should be doing for cardio, what is the best? Honestly, the world is your oyster, okay? You have walking, you have running, you have the elliptical, you have the stair climber, you have HIIT interval workouts, you have swimming. It really doesn't matter, okay? Like, just do what you enjoy doing that's sustainable, that's something you can be consistent with and progress with. Like, that's what matters the most, honestly, on your health and fitness journey with cardio or strength training, putting that aside. But once again, cardio is just a tool to help you stay within a calorie deficit. The strength training, though, this is what I really want you to focus on, okay? So put it to this perspective, okay? You don't burn a lot of calories when it comes to strength training, all right? Once again, you burn way more calories when it comes to cardio, but cardio does not help you build muscle. Strength training, right, lifting weights, that helps you build muscle. And no, you're not going to get big, bulky, unless, once again, you're training and eating like a bodybuilder or you're taking anabolic steroids, right? I lift weights 5 times a week and I'm lean, I'm chiseled, I'm ripped, okay? There's a big difference here. And I'm not a bodybuilder. I never want to be a bodybuilder, okay? So just think about that. The weightlifting, why does this help you burn more body fat? Okay? Well, if you think about it like this, there is a calculation, I should say, right? A formula, if you want to call it that. It's called the TDEE calculation, right? And this is pretty much your total daily energy expenditure. Pretty much saying like, hey, this little chart, right? And you can just Google this and you'll find out for yourself. This chart is going to show you how many calories, not how many calories, but a percentage, right, of what matters the most when it comes to burning the most energy. Okay, so if we're eating food, we're putting energy into our body. But how are we actually expending that energy out? Well, the big bulk of that is your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate, okay? That's like 60 to 70% right there of your overall calories being burned. And then after that, you have what's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That could be you gardening, you doing the dishes, you walking around like what I'm doing right now. You just moving around that's not working out or exercise, if that makes sense, right? Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And then after that, you have what's called TEF, the thermic effect of food. And that's pretty much saying like, hey, the food that we're consuming, right? Certain foods are going to help us obviously burn some energy, burn some calories as we're consuming that because it takes our body longer to digest, right? And anytime we're using our body to do something, we're using energy, right? So long story short, there's what's called the macronutrients, proteins, carbs, or fats, okay? Fats, they burn very little calories, right, when you consume them. Carbohydrates also burn very little carbohydrates when you consume them. Your protein, though, when you're consuming that, you're going to burn a lot of calories, right? Your body's going to use a lot of energy to digest that protein because of all the amino acids that's inside of a protein molecule. Okay, this is why I tell all my coaching clients, hey, focus on eating more protein if you want to lose more body fat, and you should as well. Once again, I got more friendly tips like that inside of our free fat loss training guide down below. You should go check it out, okay? First link in the description box down below. But right above that, right above the thermic effect of food is called EAT, EAT, exercise activity thermogenesis, and it burns the least amount of calories when participating and doing, right, the working out aspect. Once again, cardio burns way more calories than strength training. But check this out. The big bulk of that TDEE, right, the big bulk is your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. The exercising, the strength training, that is actually what's going to help you get the most bang for your buck when it comes to increasing your BMR, increasing your basal metabolic rate, is by doing the weightlifting, because that's what's going to help you build the muscle. And remember, it's not getting all big, it's not getting all bulky, anything like that. When you have more muscle mass on you, this is what's going to help you burn more body fat, right? Muscle burns way more calories, right, than body fat. You should know this, but if you don't, hey, that's why maybe you're watching this video right now, so I can educate you, so I can help you out. So think about it like this perspective too, okay? Your body's always going to adapt. Okay, you might be doing some cardio and losing some weight, and hey, that's great, but eventually you might hit a little stall. Now, when it comes to strength training, obviously there's ways of progressive overload to help you get out of any kind of stall or plateau within that. But I want to put this whole entire cardio versus strength training into a whole perspective to make your life a lot easier when it comes to this. All right, if you do hit a stall, take a look at this glass. So if let's just say that I had liquids inside the glass and it was all the way over here, and let's just say like the glass represents your body and the liquids inside of the glass represents body fat. Now, with me pouring, right, the glass over and the liquids falling out, okay, that's obviously me losing body fat. And that could be me, let's just say, running, walking, exercising, all this stuff, right? The liquids are coming out. I'm losing the body fat. But eventually, let's just say I can't do that anymore. I hit a stall. I hit a little plateau. It happens. Metabolic adaptation, right? So what do? Right? You got the liquids inside. How do we actually get it outside the glass? And we can't pour it out anymore. Well, this is when we add something in. So if you think about it, if I got liquids up to here and I start adding some like rocks inside the cup, what's going to happen? Right? The liquids is going to come up and then eventually spill over. I want you to think and have the right mindset of like putting the rocks into your body, right, as the muscle, because that's what's going to help the body fat overflow. And when you can adapt that mindset, it helps you so much with having a better relationship when it comes to working out, going to the gym, maybe at home with some equipment like dumbbells or kettlebells, or just doing some body weight stuff like push-ups and sit-ups. Because you can focus like, man, the more that I focus on the strength, the more that I focus on working out, I'm actually going to be burning way more calories, right? Well, no, I take that back. You're not going to be burning more calories. You're going to be losing way more body fat when it comes to doing the strength training than when it comes to doing the cardio. Cardio is great. It's a tool, okay? I want you to put into this perspective before I give you the grand takeaway in all this, okay? Think about it like this. The older we get, let's just fast forward to say we're in our 80s, okay? There's two people in their 80s. One person is skin and bones, right? Like they're old, they're brittle, walking around with a cane. They don't have no muscle on them, right? So they're constantly hunched over, and that's why they need the cane. They don't have no core strength. They can't support themselves. Their joints are constantly hurting. And let's just say, unfortunately, like they trip, they fall down the stairs. What do you think is going to happen to that person? They might break their ankle, might break their shoulder, might break their hip. That's not going to be good. Now, let's just say there's another person that's in their 80s, and they took care of themselves. They treated their health, they treated their body as one of the best investments of their life, and they prioritized it. They worked out. They ate protein. They drank water. They focused on recovery. They were doing the things necessary to live a long, healthy life. They're in their 80s, right? And they still got some muscle to them. Because the older you get in life, the older you become, you start to lose your muscle a lot faster. But this person, hey, did the right things to preserve that muscle and maintain it. So they're in their 80s, and unfortunately, once again, they fall down the stairs. Who do you think, right, is going to have a better chance of not hurting themselves and not breaking something? Realistically, it's that individual, right, that has more muscle on them. And if you can look up any kind of studies, and I encourage you to do this, like you'll find out that people that live longer are typically people that have more muscles on them. Right? They have more lean muscle tissue on their bodies. So what is the best answer when it comes to you losing body fat? Well, honestly, you don't need to just do only strength training, and you don't need to do just only cardio. I kind of gave you the answer before. Whatever you can do that helps you progress, whatever you can do that you can stay consistent with and work long term at because it's part of who you are, it's part of your daily habits, your daily routine, just do that. Cardio, there's so many different tools. There's running, walking, swimming, elliptical, HIIT cardio, all this stuff, right? Different circuits. With, lifting weights and getting stronger. You could be doing that in a gym with the machines, the barbells, the dumbbells. You could be doing that at home with kettlebells and dumbbells. You could be doing that just with body weight as well. It's just about finding what works best for you. And I recommend just blending the two. If you're strength training, let's just say 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week, but at least 3, hey, that's really good. Really, really good. Because once again, you're going to be building that muscle, right, which is going to help you with your BMR to lose more body fat. And if you can focus on maybe 2, 3 cardio sessions, and it doesn't have to be hard. You know, if you're somebody like myself that has bad knees, bad ankles, you don't need to, run sprints or go for these crazy long runs. Like, no, like I just personally just like to walk on this treadmill right here. It's convenient for me. Just do that. Do 20, 30-minute sessions, a few times a week. If you can just blend the two and making sure that you focus on eating plenty of protein, staying within a calorie deficit, and staying consistent, that's the name of the game right there, guys. Because let's face it, cardio, strength training, these two things are just the icing, just the sprinkles on the cake. When it comes to you reaching your health and fitness goals, 80 to 90% is all going to be focused on nutrition, right? And the right mindset. But most importantly, it's, hey, can you actually stick with it long term? Because I know a lot of people that could do something like a solid workout routine, a solid nutrition plan, but let's just say, hey, life throws them curveballs, they fall off track, they get derailed, and they end up regaining all that weight right back. You got to learn how to pivot. You got to learn how to roll with the punches, especially when life throws you curveballs, right? Injuries, illnesses, you're traveling, you're out of your routine. You got to learn how to just roll with the punches of life and always just show up each and every day. Even if you're just focused on being 1% better, that's all that matters. That's way better than who you were yesterday. That right there, my friends, that's what's going to yield to you getting the results that you want and maintaining that success long term. And once again, if you want any help, we got a free training guide down below that's going to teach you how to lose body fat and keep it off once and for all without dieting, without cutting out any of your favorite foods. So take this video for what it is, right? Strength training, that's what's going to help you build the muscle. That's what's going to help you burn the body fat. Cardio, that's what's going to help you, once again, stay within a calorie deficit. Mix and match the two. Do what works best for your body type. Do what works best for your busy schedule. Do what works best for your lifestyle. And most importantly, focus on showing up each and every single day. Fill up your cup, right? Because remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you're not investing into yourself, how can you expect to be an asset and help out those that you love? Oh, so fill up your cup, right? Be that 1% better each and every day, and I promise you, you're going to live a life where you can leave a legacy behind. It's definitely going to be worthwhile. Hopefully you guys got some value from today's video. If you did, great. Give this video a thumbs up. As always, this has been Coach Joe with HeartAthletics.com, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.